Hey, we're all still hyped about the Vikings' huge win on Sunday. It feels good to even say that this part in a week. I got Trevor Kramer with me today on Twin City Sports Talk. Bruce Kramer. Um, Today we got a packed episode. A lot of Twin stuff going around. The winter meetings of the MLB are being taking place right now. They end tomorrow. And in about an hour here, we are going to find out where the Twins are going to be drafting when the draft comes around in June. With the draft lottery, again, like I said yesterday, they have the second best odds with a 22% chance to get the first overall pick. So good stuff in the Twins department, along with a couple other things, along with ownership and stuff, which we'll get to. First off, how are you doing today, Trev? Easy day today?
Good, yeah. Staying at home, avoiding the
Yeah.
snow. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah.
much you're supposed to get, but
I think
a
we've
lot,
got 4 inches here. So,
yeah, and more to come. So yeah, just
yeah,
chilling.
it's still going now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
roads are not fun.
I think we got snow till like 10, 11 p.m. That's what I saw a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not going to be fun at all. I have, just like yesterday's episode, if for whoever watched that one, I have one piece of Gophers news. It's not good for a lot of people. Fame Ija Boy announced today that he is going to be transferring out of the University of Minnesota. We don't know. He didn't give any top schools of to where he wants to go. But Ija Boy being kind of that running back too, and he got a bigger role this year with Darius Taylor being hurt for a few games. I know Trevor and I were pretty excited about him coming into next year if he were to stay, because he is a good running back. And if Taylor went to the NFL or tried that, or if he just did anything not in college next year, Ija Boy would have been our running back one. So sucks to see. They're gonna have to replace him some way or stick with the young guys that they had six. I looked back at it. They had six running back recruits. Obviously, you're probably not going to start a true freshman at running back or even have him as a backup, but you got guys coming up. So that's good for the Gophers, but stinks to see Ija Boy go. But it's college football in this day and age. It's going to happen. Two Vikings points right here. Yeah, sorry, done with the Gophers. Just like I said, first one, we're going to go back over the Vikings' path to the playoffs now, even though I think both Trevor and I can agree we kind of just want them to lose, get that draft capital stock going back up. But they
play
still
play
are
well,
not.
play
Yes,
well, but lose.
that's perfect. That would be awesome. This is the scenario. Obviously, you have to win your next 4 games. You have to win out. The Bears have to lose out. Okay. So already, I'm pretty sure the Bears have, I think they have the Browns next week. So I don't know. Shador Sanders threw for 360 this past week, but that's a tough task. Um, so the Bears have to lose out. The Lions have to lose 3 games and they have to beat the Bears, so that you have to have the Lions win 1 game but beat the Bears. You have to have the Panthers lose 2 games, and then the Cowboys have to lose to the Vikings and lose 1 extra game. And bada bing, bada boom, JJ McCarthy is a postseason quarterback.
How you doing?
Easy. It's easy. We control our own destiny with other 50 other things there. So not good. Not good at all. But it's good for us. We get higher draft capital, and that's really all we need to worry about now, except for the development of our young quarterback. All right, the next one's a little bit more interesting because this comes as a shock to definitely me who knows the college football world pretty dang well. The Vikings, PFF, Pro Football Focus, they released a mock draft today for the next, obviously, the upcoming NFL draft. And at the 11th pick, the Minnesota Vikings were, yeah, so actually, I think they're right now still at the 11th pick after winning this weekend. They were at the 11th before. So PFF thinks the Vikings will stick at 11, and they are going to be drafting safety Caleb Downs out of Ohio State, which I, it's shocking to me because Caleb Downs for a long time coming into this college football season was maybe getting like number 1 overall, like hype. and he still has that type of hype. It's just other guys have like performed really well. Jeremiah Love, Ruben Bain from Miami. But Caleb Downs dropping to 11 seems almost
Unreal.
like a fever dream there. Like, because this guy, I mean, he changes your defense. He starts and train. I don't care the depth we have there. And I mean, this would be such a dream with Harrison Smith most likely not returning and retiring. This would be a heck of a draft pick by Kwesi if he's in office by then. We don't know. But Caleb Downs at 11 would be phenomenal. He is the best safety in college football, no doubt. Like everyone can agree on that. It's not even like he's having a down year or anything. It's just other guys are performing well, and the draft is going to be interesting. But PFF thinks the Vikings are drafting Caleb Downs at 11. So I know you don't know a lot about him, Trev, but what do you think of that? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be
no,
great.
I'll be honest, I really haven't watched Ohio State play, but everything I've heard from you, another buddy of mine that watches a lot of college football, if you'd get him at 11, give or take anywhere around there, the
Yeah.
like value you would get from a guy that has been and still currently discussed as the possible number one pick.
Yes.
That would be such an unreal steal, the value you could get. And the guy can pretty much do whatever. I've heard
He is another Josh Metellus Swiss Army knife.
Literally
Yeah.
get that again. On top of, I mean, yeah, Harrison Smith's almost certainly going to retire. And then you exclude Harrison Smith, and then if you kind of exclude Metellus as well, since you're going to move him around, your safety position is very thin. I mean, Jay Ward's shown some flashes, but he's nothing crazy. I think Theo Jackson underperformed, which is
Definitely.
terrible. It's not like there's super high hopes for Theo. I know he's been injured too.
Yeah.
For a couple weeks at least. But yeah, no, if you get down at that pick, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, it would be. And I mean, it's hard to say. Obviously, right now we're many, many months away. But PFF, very trustworthy, maybe the top like football site that people trust out there. And they take their mock draft seriously. So it would be great to see. And to go with what Trevor was saying, I also think like the Theo Jackson talk, he has underperformed, but then again, he has never really gotten a runway. And I think people are kind of throwing him under the bus because this is his first year playing meaningful snaps. He played every now and then last year, but it was Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus and the rest of the gang. But so, I mean, maybe like next year he could emerge if he gets more and more playing time. But one thing about Jay Ward is an impressive blitzer. He not great in coverage. I covered it on the initial game reaction on Sunday at that night. On the first drive for the Commanders, he had a miscommunication with Eric Wilson, and that allowed Terry McLaurin for a 20-yard throw crosser across the field there. But so he's not like the safety aspect of it, not great at it yet, but that's something you can improve. It's more of the mental stuff, knowing where to be, when to be there. But the blitzing, Jay Ward, he can bull rush a receiver on a bubble screen. He's getting around. He's had a few pressures this year in the limited snaps he's got. I'm excited to watch Jay Ward play more, maybe more than Theo Jackson for me. That's not because I don't like Theo Jackson. It's just in the snaps he has given, he hasn't shown much. But yeah, Caleb Downs, PFF, goes to the Vikings at 11. Now here's the question, Trev. If it was him or Jeremiah Love, the Notre Dame running back, the number one running back in the draft, the Vikings with the young quarterback would love a young. Oh man, look at that.
But yeah, who would I rather take?
They were both there, which I think the chances of that are like a 0.2.
Yeah, if you're drafting at 11, give or take, yeah, you're right. I don't think either makes it there. But if you have somehow in some way they're both there, I think I do go Jeremiah Love just because you've seen how impactful Gibbs and Bijan, right? Your two most recent, unless I'm blanking on someone, early first-round picks.
I mean,
even if I am forgetting someone, you get the point, right?
Yep.
Complete difference makers. You can use them however you want. It's so hard to game plan against them. especially if you pair Jeremiah Love for the running attack to go along with the passing attack of Jefferson, and then 50-50 if you keep Addison or not. Because I really do think
it'll either be Addison or Naylor next year as your wide receiver.
Right, but
yeah,
you guys get the point. You got Jefferson, best receiver in football. Pair him with Jeremiah Love. You saw Jordan Mason as a great number 2 running back.
Yeah,
I think it's just a little more impactful having a running back. I can, get you so many points, use him so many ways. Where as a safety, even with how impactful and how many ways you could use downs, I just think Jeremiah Love might be a slightly bigger impact for winning game in, game out.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's so close. It's seriously a coin flip for me because Caleb Downs, like I said, coming in with like first overall talk, and he is like when you watch him play, he's moving all over. He can pick the ball. He's good hands. He's super aggressive. He can hit anyone. He can lay a tight end down on his butt. But Jeremiah Love, like to go with Jordan Mason being that third down kind of bit like more aggressive, run a few people over, which Love can do at times for sure. But Love, I mean, if you just look up his highlight tape, spin moves, hurdles, super elusive, just in every way. It'd be great. I'm not even going to say it, right? I just think there's absolutely no way Caleb Downs falls to 11, no matter the quarterback play with Fernando Mendoza and some other guys going top 10. I think there's no possible way that Caleb Downs gets to 11, but I'm not even going to say who I'd choose because I literally can't like decide. I think Kwesi and all of them would be a coin flip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, but going back to the game on Sunday, Trevor, Jack and I covered yesterday what our initial thoughts were. What was your initial thoughts, and what was your like favorite thing from the game that you took away?
I mean, gosh, it's been a rough however many couple weeks, right? 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So it's just so nice. I mean, if you exclude Washington's first offensive possession, which really should have been a touchdown, if it was Debo, right? Because I mean, it hits Debo in the hands. If you exclude that first drive, it's pretty much stress free, which very rarely do we Viking fans ever have a stressful free game. It's always
this was
nail biting or a disaster, as in recent weeks. So yeah, I mean, couldn't be more happy with how they played. Kind of my favorite part, if I had to pick one, would be that second drive for Minnesota. Right, so Minnesota got to stop turnover on downs when Washington went for it on fourth. You get the ball on your 2-yard line with 2:42 remaining in the first quarter. Like I said, on the own 2-yard line, we drove the entire field, took 19 plays for a total of 12 minutes of game time, and you score with only 5:41 remaining in the second quarter.
You wasted a whole quarter, basically.
12 minutes. And I mean, that pretty much, I think that's where you won the game. It was still very early on, right? So you still had 5 minutes left in the second, including all second half.
But and you're only up 14-0, but
Washington's first drive, moved the ball, running it down our throat. You couldn't stop the run. They could do whatever they want. And then you get to stop at the very end at the 2-yard line. They don't score, so that sucked a lot of energy out of Washington. And then you add that to the 19-play possession, as just discussed. I mean, that's just absolutely killer. And then you go down 14-0 with no energy, no life, a big letdown, and then it snowballed for Washington. It just got bad and bad. So I think
that fires up the defense, and you could see it with how the defense plays. When they get to wait, I mean, it's 12 minutes of game time, but you have probably two commercial breaks in there, and like the running out of bounds stops the clock. Like the defense is sitting there for 25 minutes, just being like, "Oh man, this is nice. We get a huge break," and then they come out and just firing. Yeah,
I was gonna say, and they have not had that in however many weeks.
Oh yeah, even like the Lions game. Yeah,
their turnovers.
Yeah,
I mean the defense has played 70% of every game for the last.
I think I saw the stat. I think it was for the last 4 weeks, the defense is
before the
playing
Sunday
like
game.
yeah. It was I think it was like 81%, which is just crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's fun watching our defense because they're just amazing in every way. But I don't want to see them out there all the time. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where me and Jack were, the offense, moving the ball efficiently in every way that they tried. So yeah, great day by the Vikings. I mean, we'll probably talk more on it throughout the week. Get ready for Sunday Night Football against Dallas. I guess we did talk yesterday, Trev. Any confidence level going into Dallas? Dallas not having a good defense for run and pass. What's a confidence level, just real quick?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar to Washington.
Yeah.
I really haven't looked too much into it yet. Is there anyone notable on Dallas? So I know CD Lamb had the concussion, the scary concussion. I should mention.
Yeah, I don't. The injury report will have more like clarity later in the week, so I
Yeah,
haven't looked at it
but
yet.
yeah, I mean, just kind of roughly looking into it, I think it's going to be similar to kind of how I was feeling going into Washington. Right, another bad defense. The offense
Yeah.
is good, but with how our defense is playing, I think this is a very winnable game. Even because it is in Dallas, right? I think it's a road game. Yeah, but I mean, even with it in Dallas, if the offense plays the way it did, don't overthink it, right? Just all the right plays, rely on the run, and then just kind of feel the game out. As much as it stinks, I think we do win, which would stink for draft pick conversation. But
it sounds so weird for some people, but yeah, it's as much as it sucks, we have to win. We have to.
I don't see it being a big win by any means like it was on Sunday.
Not like this, yeah.
I think it'll be a one-score game. I think a little bit back and forth, but
because the difference with that too, you're playing a team that's 3-9, and then Dallas, they're actually fighting for a playoff spot here. So, I mean, in our playoff like path for the Vikings, we have to beat Dallas.
Yeah,
to make the playoffs. That's
one of 18 things that needs to go right. Let's go.
You know, it's funny. I was gonna say 18 too.
You were
the telepathy there, right? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna move past the Vikings because this show is mostly about the Twins here. All right. Twins, one bigger news thing that happened today. Rocco Baldelli gets hired by the Dodgers, so he's in a fantastic situation for him. He's taking more of a front office role with the team, and he's going to be more developing players for the Dodgers. That's what he's going to oversee a lot. So he gets his front office role, doesn't have to have the stress of the 200 fans at Target Field booing him for taking Joe Ryan out in the 5th inning. But yeah, so Rocco gets his job. Happy for him. He's a good guy. So that's
right. I mean, that's got to be a win-win for him too. I mean, when he first got fired, really not his fault, as discussed with the whole cutting payroll multiple years, and he can only work with what he's got. But now that he's got the Dodgers job, I think he's thinking back of like, this really couldn't have gotten any better. I got out of a complete
disaster
of a franchise with the Twins. You go to the best team in baseball, who, not even surprising anymore, just added Edwin Diaz to their super team already.
And Rocco Baldelli.
Which moves better, Rocco or Edwin Diaz?
Obviously Rocco. He develops Diaz.
I really don't see a con for Rocco. You go to the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
You don't got to deal with the cold anymore. You don't got to deal with the crap you're putting up with the last couple years with Minnesota. I mean, happy for him. It wasn't his fault we sucked, so good for him.
So yeah, it is good escaping the once disaster that this franchise has always kind of been in since the Pohlads have been running this team for a while. But I wonder if Rocco is seeing any reports on the Twins right now, because the big one that happened like a day or two ago, the Twins announced that they'll be revealing new minority like investors into this ball club, which in essence means more money being put in by more people or more groups, business groups, and stuff like that. So yeah, in essence, it's just more money to spend, which in this report at the winter meetings, the Vikings, the Twins made it pretty clear that they want a power bat, not a Josh Bell for $4 million who's going to have a batting average of 200, but a power bat who's reliable, and they want reliable bullpen arms because in their quote, they said they want to be competitive this year, which the roster right now, no, it's not competitive. You have the starting pitching, you have a few bats. But if they are actually serious about this, they're going to need to spend some money on that big power bat like they're talking about. They're going to need to rebolster the bullpen, no matter if you're putting some of your starters there that should be in the MLB, but maybe they don't have a spot for starting, but those guys will be in the bullpen. You might have to get another second, maybe cheaper, reliable bat, like a 2023 Donovan Solano move, a guy who's going to hit for 280, 290. But the Twins, they announcing that they want to spend, they want to be competitive. And I think it was either me and Jack or me and you last night that was talking. The division, the AL Central is in a spot where the White Sox are still not going to be good. They're maybe trending more in the right direction. They have a big chance to get the number 1 draft pick this year, but the Royals, they're kind of stuck with some older players. Seth Lugo, Salvador Perez is getting up there now. And they're kind of stuck in being a good team, not great at all. Cleveland, they have a worse payroll than us, so they're not doing much too. And I mean, Jose Ramirez keeps producing, but he's not getting younger because what is J-Ram now? Like
for age, he's probably like both there.
I think he's 33 or something, but either way, it shouldn't matter much. But
yeah. But what I was going to go at is the whole Class A debacle, and I forget the other pitcher. I mean, you didn't just lose your closer; you lost. Was he considered?
Closer. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. Yes.
Someone, he was the best.
Yep.
So I mean, that's just completely tanked their franchise, their outlook for the next handful of years. I mean, that's just, you can't place that, and that's just how do you even like that?
It's tough. Yeah, it sucks for them. But so that a lot of stuff going on with Cleveland, not a lot of good stuff. But then the Tigers, their lineup completely goes away the last month or two of the season, and then they end up losing the division when they had a 20-game lead to Cleveland. And then there's trade rumors that the Dodgers have called about Tarik Skubal, and they might trade Tarik Skubal. I don't know if they will. I haven't looked into it enough, but yeah, I mean, I expect them to keep them, but other than him, Casey Mize was good for them. Jack Flaherty was just another average 4 ERA year for them. Their pitching is good, not great, but either way, the division is attainable. I wouldn't put it as gettable or like in reach, but it's attainable. Like it's there, but it's kind of going away. But either way, the Twins could have a chance if they're actually serious this offseason. And if these investors are serious about putting money in, that will be spent in good ways. So I want to get more into depth with this. Trevor, a question I had for Jack yesterday. I talked to you about it last night. I want to hear what you have to say about it again. If the Twins, they have a surplus of starting pitchers between Pablo, Ryan, Bailey Ober, Zebby Matthews, David Festa, Simeon Woods-Richardson, Mick Abel, and Taj Bradley. Would you, if they're serious about contending, do you trade one of those, not Pablo or Ryan, because they've been taken off the table? Do you trade a Sim, a Festa, a Zebby for a reliable bat somewhere in the lineup?
I would, just especially if it's for a first baseman, a reliable guy. It's because what's the realistic chance that out of those young guys you mentioned, the chance of them being a number 1 or close to a number 1 is very unlikely. And then even more so, are they really going to be a quality 2 or 3 starter in your rotation? Not necessarily next year, but like out term or future outlook, right? 3,
if I had to say, I think Zebby could be. He has good stuff to have that kind of role. But either way, keep going.
Right, but with the depth that's kind of mentioned, it's hard to say, right? Because you don't know what you're getting in return,
Yep.
but just keep it vague. Let's say you're getting a quality above average first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
How thin you are. Or even if you can get another right-handed bat, right? Because, I mean, most of the, well, give or take. I don't know. If you can just get a quality bat, preferably a first baseman, I would do it. I like the depth at starting pitching. And then you're always going to have guys that you can claim off waivers, right? Someone you don't expect to be waived that you can nab off waivers. There's going to be 1, 2, maybe 3, if you're lucky, guys like a Randy Dobnak that completely come out of nowhere, right? One day you're an Uber driver, next day you sign a minor league contract, 3 months later you're making up AAA. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. Not the Uber driving part, but Savage, right? For Toronto, right?
Yeah, he was in single A at the start of last year. He just worked his way up. Yeah,
AAA, to the point where not only do you get called up to the bigs, but you're pitching in key playoff games.
He had like a 10 strikeout performance in Game 6 of the World Series. My God. I mean, yeah, exactly.
The point being is you're going to have someone, 1 or 2, right, that you have really no realistic plans or any plans of, right, that comes out of nowhere. Worst comes to worst, if you trade a guy, you get unlucky with injuries, you can swing a cheap trade for a team that's got good depth for a veteran. I don't know. I would do it if it's
what is the one guy? Give me 1 or 2 guys real quick. Who would be the first one you would like call to see if any teams would want
to trade for?
No, to trade. Like which one would
you trade away?
Festa, Sim, like Sebi.
Gosh, I haven't thought too much into that. Maybe Festa. Gosh, I mean, I really. Yeah. It's also hard to say because I mean, us two, and probably 95% of Twins fans. I mean, I barely watched them from August from the trade deadline for the remainder of the year, August, September. I mean, I think I watched 3 games, so I wasn't really watching them closely. But if I had to pick a name, I think Festa comes to mind. I'm not really too picky, so as long as it's not Ryan, not Pablo, it's not Ober. If it's any of those other, your 4 starter on down to 7, 8, 9, or I will say, don't trade Abel.
No, Abel's off the table. That's one they just traded for him in the Duran trade.
Yeah. Matthews, Festa.
What I would do, I would see what you could get for Sim. If you could get an above average hitter, maybe not good defense, but just an above average hitter, because Sim is the one out of those 7 or 8 that I think probably has the lowest table. I mean, his fastball just basically sits at 94. Not a lot of movement. It's pretty straight, kind of hittable sometimes. He can place it well high in the zone either way, but he has that good slider and changeup off of it. Sometimes that curveball that drops off the table, but not just it's kind of just average stuff. I don't think he'd have a role maybe in the bullpen in the future, but if you could get someone just above average hitting for Sim, I would do that in a heartbeat. But if not, then I would look into Festa. I think you keep Zebby, and I don't think you're going to trade Taj Bradley either. You just got him from the Rays for one of the best relievers in the league. So,
and if I remember correctly, Zebby was the guy kind of before he got his original call-up, his walk total was incredibly low.
Yeah, right? Which that has been a struggle in the big leagues, but he'll get that figured out. He has great stuff. I'm excited to watch Zebby play. All right, before we get to more reassessing some Twins free agent talks for this offseason, Jack and I made some predictions about the Wolves and Wild game last night. I'm going to really quickly go over that and go over our standings now, records and points-wise. So, yeah, the Wolves, they played the Suns, and the Wild, they played the Kraken. Real quick, a brief recap of these games. The Wolves, you're going into a game where the Suns don't have Jalen Smith or Jalen Green still, and they still don't have Devin Booker again. Okay, if people remember, Devin Booker fouled out in the first game you played him with 6 minutes remaining. You turn the ball over 5 times in the last 3 minutes, and you lose that game. Devin Booker did not play this game. Dylan Brooks was nursing an Achilles injury on his left leg this game. He was questionable going in because of this Achilles injury. And Dylan Brooks completely just ran through you the whole game. and their center. I'm not remembering the Suns' name for their center.
Mark Williams, right?
Yes, Mark Williams. He had a fantastic game. And that also has to do with Rudy Gobert completely just going full sicko mode and getting ejected by elbowing whoever it was in the face in the third quarter. And completely just throwing away the game there for him. So many things to go off of. Naz Reid, 2 for 12 from the field on 10 threes. I get Naz Reid can shoot the 3 ball, and he's going to be good some games and have hot games like that. But I want to see more of Naz Reid driving the lane. He's 6'11", and he moves like Steph Curry, some of these point guards. He has a Euro step. You got to use that. You have a huge body, and you're not most of the time, you're not having a center on you. And if you do, you're fast enough to blow right by the center. But if you have a smaller type like 6'5" guard or 6'9" like forward on you, you can like lower him. You can box him down and get into the lane easily in any way. I need Naz to start doing that because the 3 ball, it's going to be really cold. And I'd say that's one of the bigger reasons. Julius Randle had a better game points from that standpoint, but the turnovers have not stopped with Randle. He becomes careless with the basketball, and we all know you're going to get nothing on defense from him. The 2 bright spots from the game being Ant with another 40 piece this year. He's chasing the points per game like leader of this whole year for the NBA. And then Bones Highland off the bench. He was basically the only bright spot other than Ant. He had 19 points or maybe 14 points in 19 minutes or 19 points in 14 minutes. So he was good. But either way, Jaden McDaniels was terrible shooting the ball tonight. This team did not come with any urgency. They didn't play hard. They let another team who's injured, who doesn't have a star, run right through them. It was hard to watch again, and this team needs to figure it out because if you fix some of these games and win a few of these games against these inferior opponents, your record flips from whatever it is right now, like 15-9. I think it's 15-9 to being like 18-5. Like you are, just because of that, you are automatically like, you are slipping away from contender talks every time you come into this game. I don't know sorry, I'm going on a rant right now, but I got so mad watching it. I don't know if it's a lack of preparedness with like Finchy or any of the other coaching staff, or if it's the players not taking it seriously, but no one's coming to play these games except Ant. You can see it every time the buzzer sounds in the fourth quarter. Ant walks off the court with his head down, and he's just shaking his head going, this is awful. He's doing all he can.
Well, yeah, and all your points are valid just because, I mean, Ant is playing so well almost every night, every year, ever since the Wolves have been a playoff team, really since we've had Ant. Yeah. Every win, I mean, the West year in and year out, it's never changed, at least no time in the last, 10 years, if not longer. The difference between, a 3 seed and a 6 or a 7 seed, right? And you don't want to be that 7, 8, 9, or, 9 and 10 years old.
Or whatever.
You want to avoid 7, 8, right? So you don't got to play the playing games. But, I mean, the one additional win could be the difference between, being a 6 or a 7 all the way up to a 3. And then you're talking about, right, home court first round for if it does go to a game 7, right? Yeah. So with this roster, you're running it back besides Nah, which, I mean, you can't really replace Nah. That was a huge loss, but you only have so much money. We're not the Dodgers here, all right? This is NBA.
Exactly.
If we could keep Nah, trust me, I feel like they would have. But no, you just didn't have the money for that. But besides losing Nah, which is a tough loss, you're running it back with the same team. You've made it to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. Now they haven't really played. They weren't even really close to advancing past that. But still, to get there is saying a lot. That's pretty impressive. There's no reason we should have these bad losses. You barely beat New Orleans recently. And so, last night and then the 2 or 3 weeks ago, you lose 2 to Phoenix. I know there's a couple other bad losses.
You lose to the Kings when they were 4-13.
Yep. You lost to the Kings.
And you barely get past the 6-16 Clippers, but we talked about it. They had Kawhi and James Harden.
Yeah,
but either way, that team was terrible going into it.
Than the record shows. And then you have a good enough team because you beat a team like the Celtics. Now I know Tatum's not playing. It's not your typical Celtics team. However, that Celtics team, I mean, the Celtics are good. Year in and year out. They coach well. They just have a good team. Everything about the Celtics is good. So just piece it together. They got to clean it up because if you keep having these clunkers, these bad losses are going to stack. You're probably going to be fighting after you get into the playoffs, but you're probably not going to be a top 4 seed, and that could be
not
such
at this rate. 100%, yeah.
Right. Most times, most playoffs are going to go 6 or 7 games, and if you're in a game 7 and you got to play on the road, that makes it that much.
Good luck. Yeah, exactly. When if you have to travel to OKC in the second round in a game 6 or a game 7, like, yeah, good luck. Like, come on. It's unacceptable. And I don't know if it's like a lack of, like, a lot of reports coming out, trade rumors for a point guard, for Darius Garland, even like people are wanting Kyrie Irving to be in some trade talks. But like, if that's that big of a difference, I will say it would be great. You'd have to give up a ton, but like Mike Conley plays 10 minutes in these games, and Dante DiVincenzo's averaging over 2 turnovers every game. He can shoot the 3 ball, but he can't run the offense as well as a lot of these guys in these trade rumors could. And you don't want Ant bringing up the ball because you want Ant coming off of screens for threes and being able to find him driving the lane and cutting. You don't want him bringing up the ball because he can't do that. I know he likes the ISOs and everything, but get him off ball, get him good shots instead of him having to make shots, and because no one else can shoot the ball well right now. But either way, it's embarrassing. Flat line right there. So yeah, go Wolves. All right. Next up, the Wild last night. They are coming off of a 4-1 victory against Seattle Kraken. Coming into the game, Seattle very low in all kind of important like stats and expectations. Just the worst penalty kill team in the league, and some of the worst goaltending they've had the NHL's seen all year. So another game the Wild should have won, and they did. They took care of business. I will say, very sloppy offense. Again, they have to start getting this figured out. Easier passes. They're trying to make plays out of nothing. They're trying to make the miracle play where it's kind of a pass across the entire through like 3 defensive body. Like they'll have it in the zone on the power play, for example. And I know Kirill is a wizard, and I'm not saying I want him to change up how he plays, but we went 0 for 3 on power plays last night. And last night, yeah, we won 4-1. It was a very close game. 2 empty net goals right back to back at the end of the game there. But in these power plays, guys like Boldy and Zuccarello, they're just trying too much. If you are passing the puck in these easy openings, just getting the guy up top, then shooting it back down low, the defense has to move. And if you keep doing that, eventually these defensive players are going to get a little bit out of position, and that's when you can chuck it right inside into the slot for Eriksson Ek to shoot it right at the point there or anything like that. But they're trying to make these kind of hero plays, try to pass it through way too much. It's very frustrating because these power plays are getting absolutely 0 chances. Their power play has been bottom 5 statistically in the league over the past 2 weeks, which is incredible because they went on like a 7-game winning streak up until the last couple games. But it has been terrible to watch the power play. The offense needs to figure it out. Goaltending, Gus was great last night. Seattle didn't have a lot of chances. But when you only let up 1 goal, it's a good game. So the goaltending continues to be good. They got the win. I'm going to get to our predictions so we can get to our twin stuff. So last night, I said the Wolves would win 112-102. That did not happen for me. And then but I did say the Wild would win 4-1. So that is a correct prediction for the score and the team winner. And so with that, I earn obviously the win in the record, but I also get 2 points in our point category because if you get an NHL game score right, you get 2 points there. And then also Jack said the Wild would win, so he gets a point there. Not a point. He gets the win on his record. He said the Wolves would win. So not good for Jack. He didn't get either of his predictions for player predictions. I didn't either. So the standings right now, I am sitting at 10 and 12, still under 500. Absolutely embarrassing. But I now lead the point category. Trevor here, he is sitting at 6 and 1. So hot start for Trev. And he has 1 point because on Sunday he said that JJ McCarthy would throw 2 touchdowns and have 0 picks. That ended up happening for Trevor, meaning he gets the point. So good job, Trev, sitting at 6 and 1. Jack is 3 and 4 with 0 points. So there's your standings there for the predictions part of this episode. All right, okay. Let's finally get to more Twins stuff here. And we are going to be reassessing the Twins free agency or the MLB free agency and kind of pickpocketing what we want to see the Twins go after. They are talking about the power bat and reliable bullpen arms. We're going to go through them. I bring up one question before. When they came out and said, Trev, that they are going to keep Pablo and Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton, you were the first one to clock this. They did not mention Ryan Jeffers. Okay. And Ryan Jeffers has been linked to teams. They're not no one's really actively pursuing him right now, but there has been links to him. Do you think there is a chance that the Twins trade Jeffers and then go get a different catcher in free agency for cheaper? Or maybe they spend on one of the more expensive catchers in free agency. Do you think they could be pulling a move like this?
That's tough because I'm not super familiar or really. I guess I don't really know who are like.
I can read the catchers right now. I have it right here.
Name
So the top one that everyone's really steaming about is JT Realmuto. And then it's like a few other guys, Victor Carantini and Danny Jensen. So if they were, I guess Jonah Heim too, the Rangers, he would be another intriguing option there. He would probably even be cheaper than what Jeffers was. Elias Diaz is sitting there, who's been a reliable bat and good defensive for the Rockies for many years. What do you think of that?
With Jeffers, so rarely do you find a catcher that can give you above average hitting. And just considering that we don't really have anyone close to coming up through the minors. I know you got the Eduardo Tate, right?
Yeah, he was in the Duran deal.
But I mean, he's multiple years away for his expected MLB ETA. I think you just hold on to Jeffers. I would put it pretty low chance he gets traded.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, it is the Twins and all that, but just considering how thin we are at catcher, we're finally off the Vasquez contract. I know you have the catcher from Baltimore, was it, right?
Alex Jackson, but Vasquez is big, getting that $10 million off the books.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know why I was going to say Flores. I think Jeffers. I think he's
going to stay. Yeah, he'll be on the roster.
I'd be actually pretty shocked if he's gone. I'd probably put a 5% chance he's traded.
Okay. Yep.
But I think you keep him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone. It's a fair question though, because there is teams linked to him. Another news in the MLB world right now, the biggest name off the free agency market, Kyle Schwarber. Just like I think all of us predicted in our free agents show a week or two ago, he is staying with the Phillies. 5-year, $150 million deal for him. So good for Schwarber. I know the Pirates reached out and gave him kind of a low ball 4-year deal. Maybe I think it was this. We just talked about this. It was the same amount of money, just a shorter deal. But he returns to the Phillies. As for the Twins, they're looking to be competitive in 2026. I'm going to name a few first basemen because that is, I think we can all agree, the most needy position. I think the bullpen is probably number one, but first base, you want Cody Clemens. He's your utility guy now. He can play the outfield. He can play second base, third. You want him moving around. You don't want him first base every day. And Eddie Julian, He's
Goodbye.
Eddie Julian. So we don't want Eddie Julian at first. Here is a few first basemen. And okay, I will say, now that they're wanting a big power bat, Jack predicted as a hot take in our free agent episode that he thinks Pete Alonso will be a Twin, which, I mean, I still think it's a very low chance, but the steam could not be any bigger than right now with our willingness to spend, apparently. Again, we don't even know if they are going to spend. We don't know. The Polettes could be like, no, you know what? Never mind. We're good. But Pete Alonso is the number one first baseman out there. It would be a massive deal. It would be a lot of money. But I mean, if you got Pete Alonso, that would certify you as wanting to contend. And you can talk about the Dodgers. You're probably not going to win the World Series no matter what. But if you sign Pete Alonso, you're going to contend. Some of the guys that I would go after, if we're actually, again, I'm going to be saying this quite a lot. People are going to get annoyed. But if we're actually going to spend money, these are the guys that I want. One, you bring back our old friend Luis Arraez. He is 29, right in his prime right now. He hasn't slumped with his hitting. He's still hitting 300 every year. Not as much power, but there's other guys like Rhys Hoskins, or I think you could benefit from a good glove and a good bat in Paul Goldschmidt. There's other guys like Dominic Smith. Those are like four guys that I would just love to bring in. Again, like here's the thing. We'll probably get more clarity by the end of the month based on who these investors are and how much money we're going to find out they're putting in. But we don't know how much we're going to spend. So I'm going to say a bunch of relievers' names, maybe like an outfielder or two, but we don't know how much. But it would be great for some of those guys. What do you think of those guys? Arraez,
well, everyone would love to have Arraez back.
Yeah.
Obviously, he played second for us. I think he briefly played first, but he started playing first a lot more after we traded him. But yeah, no, you can't go wrong with Arraez. I mean, the defense is going to suck. We know that very well. I can't ever forget his blunder when the A's were still in Oakland and that disastrous collapse. I don't even know if you remember that, like late. I don't know if it was the ninth inning. It was like eighth, ninth inning. He had like two crucial errors. Regardless, everyone knows his defense sucks, but his offense makes up for it. So it'll balance it out. And if anything, the offense is more impactful. That, like I said, you can live with the defense. I've always loved Rhys Hoskins. In my opinion, he's got one of the best swings in baseball. I mean, it's just such a fluid. Yeah. I think those would be my top two, at least from the ones you've named. I think you named Goldschmidt, right?
I would love Goldschmidt too, because he was a reliable bat for the Yankees this past year. And I mean, if things do go really wrong, I think if he is going well, you could get a good little load at the trade deadline for him. But either way, but his defense too is really good. Paul Goldschmidt. I have a feeling he's going to go back to the Diamondbacks, kind of where he started his career.
Another nice positive is that can be kind of like your Nelson Cruz, right? Your captain, your leader.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, you need that. Your team is you kind of have Buck, but like, yeah.
For the most part, it's a lot of young guys. Because if you exclude Buck, you got Royce that's still pretty young. Jeffers. I mean, Jeffers, right? If you exclude Buck, is Jeffers like our most?
It would probably be Jeffers or Trevor Larnach.
Yeah, and those guys aren't old by any means. They're still relatively young, right? I don't know, 627, whatever they are.
I think 28.
I mean, you would get the leadership with Goldschmidt. Do I see him coming here nor wanting to when he's probably only got? I don't know. I think he's taken it probably year to year at this point. 100%. I doubt he'd have interest in coming here, which is how pathetic we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you and I agree we would take him.
I would take any of those guys. I have a feeling they're maybe gonna snoop low to like another old friend like Lamont Wade, who's coming off of I think a not great season with the Giants the past 2 years. I I think. But even like a Josh Bell who's going to hit 20 home runs for you, but he's also going to strike out 60% of the time and give you bad defense. But
yeah, Miguel Sano 2.0.
Yeah, and hey, maybe they bring in Miguel Sano. We just talked about that too. But either way, there's a couple. I mean, you bring back Carlos Santana. He's 40 years old. He just either way.
I kind of forgot about him.
He was playing well. He got released right before the Guardians, or right before Cleveland made the playoffs. Like he got DFA'd. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That's for some other time. But either way, there's a lot of intriguing first baseman names here that I think most of these guys aren't going to sign like really quickly. But I mean, Nathaniel Lowe too from the Rangers. That's an intriguing one too. Even like Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. He's been a reliable bat for him. Either way, a lot of guys there. As far as the infield, second base, third, and shortstop, I'm not going to get into that. I don't see them signing unless it's like just a very depth piece. We have Brooks Lee at short, Luke Keeschall at second, and Royce at third, and then Cody Clemens to back it all up with Eddie Julian. But let's go through these.
I don't know. I don't think. I know Julian's probably slotted in to be like that last roster spot, but I just feel like I think Julian. One of two things: he'll eventually get removed off the 40-man when you start signing people.
Yeah.
Or he'll just start in AAA. But I do think, Clemens will be utility.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just think they add a different backup infielder.
Yeah, and they also like Ryan Fitzgerald, the long-haired, just like the twin from or James Outman's twin.
When he's kind of like your long tenure journeyman,
like minor league, yeah. All right, I'm going to get to some outfielders here. The outfield is not very deep at all, like really at all. I mean, left fielders, I'll just go through the list really quick. Rob Refsnyder, he's 35 years old now. Austin Hayes, Jesse Winker, Michael Conforto, Canna, Tommy Pham, Jared Kelenic, or I forget how you say his name.
Yeah, Kelenic. I think it's Kelenic.
Alex Verdugo, MJ Melendez, Chris Taylor, and Christopher Morel. I don't honestly like before the money was a problem. I had the Twins signing MJ Melendez from Kansas City as just another depth guy, but I don't really see us signing any of those guys. Because for left field,
out of every lefty bat, there was no one that stood out, at least for lefty bats.
Yeah.
You already have Leineck, you have Wallner. Isn't there one other outfielder that's lefty that I'm forgetting? Wallner and Leineck. Maybe it's just
Outman a lefty. I forget.
I'm looking that up. I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head. He barely played for us.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
No, so if it's gonna be
a lefty, James Outman.
But if it is a bat, preferably righty, I think that's what they would do. Because I mean, you would be so overloaded with outfielder or left-handed hitting outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see us getting any of them? Maybe like those kind of the lesser known names, the more depth. I don't know. First the priority and the limited quantity. But let's put it like that. Till we see the spending happen and all that. Like I gotta hope they don't go into the season with first base not really filled out. I gotta hope they add. Hopefully, if you're gonna invest some money, hopefully it's in first base. I think everyone would rather have first base filled rather than a.
That's the point I was gonna make. Is that there's two outfielders that are worth a lot of money. This is like, I do not think Pete Alonso's coming here. If I had to make a prediction, but if there was one power bat that they're realistically like they said in this report that we read, that they're actively pursuing, it would be Alonso, because you are good in the outfield. The two guys are Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. Those are the two like big name guys in the outfield. You're not going to get either one of those, and I don't think they would chase them. First, you need a first baseman. So, I mean, Pete Alonso odds to Minnesota maybe are going up now. Again, I don't predict him to come here, but I think they're probably going to go all in on Pete Alonso if they can. But okay, center fielders other than that, Harrison Bader, Cedric Mullins signed a 1-year deal with Tampa 3 days ago. The old A's JJ Bleday, maybe that would be an interesting one. Michael A. Taylor retired this offseason, and then Leody Taveras signed a deal with Baltimore. So unless you want to snoop in the Manuel Margot bin again, or
Oh, absolutely not. Who?
yeah,
What was the name of who retired?
JJ Bleday, the old A's.
He
He's a
retired.
free agent. No. Michael A. Taylor
Oh,
retired.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which we got one good year out of him. Maybe his
Yeah.
best year of his career. I don't know, but yeah, I think maybe one name, maybe if they were going to snoop around the outfield, would be JJ Bleday. I don't know how much he's projected to get, but for all I know, great defense, not great bat though. If I'm remembering correctly, I'd have to look into it more.
All
But
I remember with him is being a top prospect in baseball, however many years ago.
yep, yeah,
That was
you're right.
But
You
besides
are so
that,
right.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not really familiar with him.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna give you some right fielders. Obviously, Kyle Tucker, but Mike Yastrzemski, Mike Tauchman, Max Kepler, Starling Marte, Randall Grichuk, Lane Thomas, Adolis Garcia, Will Brennan, and Jason Hayward. A lot more guys there that I could see. Whether it's they bring back Kepler, which I don't think they would. I don't actually think they're going to sign an outfielder, maybe a minor leaguer, but we don't really care about that as
I was
much.
going to say, yeah, as fun as it would be and good of a person Kepler was, just kind of a fan favorite and all.
Yeah.
Too many lefties. So unless you want to move Kepler to first
Exactly.
base like he played in the minors.
And so this is my thought.
I have no interest.
So, okay, I need to do a little. I should have done this before. I should have looked into it more. But if they are looking for a big power bat, just like you and I have been talking about for the past 5 minutes, we have a surplus of lefty outfielders. Go get Adolis Garcia. That is the power bat right there. Because he's coming off a year hitting. So wait a second. He played in 130 games. This last year was a down year for him. So the past 4 years, he hit 27 home runs, 39 home runs in 23, 25 home runs in 24. Last year, he only had 19, only batting.
How many games did he play? Was he hurt?
135. 135 last year. So, yeah. His batting average has dipped. It went down to 220. He was usually around a 250 hitter, 243, 250 in 22, 245 in 23. But if you're hitting 30 bombs, 250 is good. And if that, I think,
doesn't he normally? Isn't he kind of like I know like how Harrison Bader, just when postseason comes around, some players just play better in the postseason. Like Kike
it could be that kind of a case. Yeah,
I think Adolis Garcia. So if I remember correctly, it was COVID year, right? 2020 World Series when the Rangers made the Worlds.
No.
That was stadium.
No, that was in their stadium. It was 23 they made it.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that confused because that's when the stadium opened.
Yeah,
but
and that's where
when fans could watch, but in return. But no, you said 23 World Series. Yep. Well, regardless, I feel like if I remember correctly, he went ballistic. I mean, he was on fire. He had however many homers. He was playing so clutch. So
yep,
that is very intriguing.
You know what? So right now it's projected 8 to 12 million annually.
So I have to go fund me.
This is really intriguing because you are going to get 20 home runs out of him, and he's a right-handed bat for the outfield.
Right.
And he has a very strong arm. He's not a great defensive player, but this 8 to 12 million shocks me. Coming off of a down year, I understand it now. Coming off of a bad year. But as of late,
that's the perfect time for the Twins. Buy low.
Exactly.
With the high reward.
I would love some Adolis Garcia.
Probably only sign him to a 1-year deal. You get out of it next year if he goes back-to-back down years. But
yeah.
But then again,
I think if you sign him to but here's the thing. The Twins also have a number of guys coming up in the minors: Emmanuel Rodriguez, Walker Jenkins, many good outfielders that I don't know if they would sign.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe you do sign him to a 3-year deal. But
yeah,
I honestly give if he's projected 8 to 12 million, I start at 12 million because I would say this needs to be your top priority because he is basically the one big power hitting righty outfielder in this free agency class. Like, to be honest, like I think he's really the only main one.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys are lefties, like Tucker and all of them. But I think you start at 12 million, say we'll give you 3 years, 12 million. He'll probably decline the first offer, just like businessmen do. Give him 14. It's like, if you are serious about putting money in, give him 14 a year, because that's apparently more than what he's projected to get. I don't think he would say no to it. Coming off of a bad year, he's got to accept what he gets offered. Like, if I would love that. I did not think of this at all. So first time I'm thinking of it, I'm just imagining it. It would be fun. Hit some more homers, get the Bomba squad back together.
No, I'm all for it. The more we're talking about it, I mean,
yeah, I would love this move. I would love this move. And you know what? Screw the bullpen arms. Move Abel, move Taj Bradley, move Sim to the bullpen, move Festa, whoever you want. Go get Pete Alonso and Adolis Garcia for the lineup, and just load up in the bullpen with your starters.
Pablo over, you're pitching 9 innings every game. If your arm falls off, we'll worry about it then. But until then, you're pitching 9 innings. I don't care if it's 112 pitches. I don't care if it's 204. You're pitching it, son. Just go out there.
Derek Shelton feels like that type of a guy. Like, go up there and throw me 120 pitches, Ryan.
Well, from Rocco Baldelli pulling pitchers after 5 innings to
yes, exactly.
We don't need a bullpen. That's why we traded everyone. Duran, gone. Exactly. Jack's gone.
The first thought after I saw this report that they want to be competitive was, okay, so you want to be competitive. Why did you feel the need to trade Louis Varland? Because if you want to be competitive, he would be your closer now.
Yeah.
For another 4 years of team control. Well, granted, we got a good prospect.
That's because they thought they needed to trade Ty France, but they didn't want Ty France. So, like, fine, we'll give you Varland, something you do want. But you got to take Ty France. That's probably how they're negotiating. Just complete idiots.
Probably. I mean, that move happened like 10 minutes left in the trade deadline. The Adolis move, that would be great. All right, I'm going to get to a few starting pitchers. We're not going to sign any starting pitchers. That's kind of guaranteed. Edwin Diaz signed today. Raisel Iglesias, I forget how to say his name. The Braves guy. Yeah. Ryan Helsley, he signed with Baltimore. Devin Williams, he was the 3-year deal with New York a week ago. All right, the next ones on the list: Sean Armstrong, Kenley Jansen, Hobie Milner, Tyler Rogers, Taylor's brother, Kirby Yates, Mark Leiter, David Robertson. So a bunch of old guys, bunch of veteran guys that are 35 plus here. Pete Fairbanks, Sean Newcomb, Jacob Junis, Chris Martin, Luke Weaver, Caleb Thielbar, Danny Coulomb, Kyle Finnegan, Hunter Harvey, Gregory Soto, Evan Phillips. These are kind of like the top of the guys here, like top.
They're notable.
Yeah,
notable.
I mean, maybe some guys that had Ryan Presley's out there. Jose Leclerc he was part of that Rangers he was a big part of the Rangers.
Not to cut you off, but talk about another blown. This was many years ago, but talk about another blown Ryan. Oh my gosh, it was just
Ryan Presley.
Yeah, Presley trade. You get a pitcher we finally released, Alcala.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like Ernie La Trinidad. It was a unique name, a prospect that never even came close to making it. If I remember the trade.
Yeah, it's just as a whole, no one panned.
Sure, Alcala, had a couple years with the Twins, but at best, he was just another decent, I'll put it, middle reliever.
Yeah.
You saw how productive Presley was with Houston and how many years he had with that team. Gosh, that trade just still eats me alive. It's that dude had that nasty slurve too with the good fastball. Yeah, we screwed that up. Another name you mentioned, Thielbar. I think he had a very productive year with the Cubs. His first year away with the Twins. I almost wonder if you bring him back. Because
it would be a great veteran guy again. Yeah, so he ended the year with a 2.6 ERA.
Funderburk, right. Funderburk's the only lefty, at least that well, really, I think he's
Funderburk ended the year fantastically though. So maybe another bright spot.
It's not gonna hurt you to add an additional lefty unless I'm blanking someone, but I believe every other reliever that we have is right-handed.
Okay, so listen to this real quick. Thielbar appeared in 67 games. That's the most of his career for the Cubs last year. 2.6 ERA in 58 innings. He had 13 walks. That's one of the lowest numbers of his career. He had 6 in 2023 with the Twins, but that was only 30 innings. So, and he had 56 strikeouts. Fantastic year by Thielbar. Maybe bring him back. I mean, he grew up in Minnesota, so I think he might even come back for maybe even cheaper.
I think there's a decent chance of that.
Yep.
I don't know. Those were two names that just caught my attention. I mean, there's a lot of guys there, so maybe nab one, maybe two. Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, a lot of veteran guys, a ton of veteran guys, just like every year. There's a ton of like reliable like bullpen arms always available in free agency. It's just if you're willing to spend for it. But then there's guys like Michael Kopech who have a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, and he's coming off of a few like 2 years with the Dodgers, I think. Taylor Rogers, lefty piece, 35 years old, still like he's available. Both
the brothers are free agents.
Yeah, bring them both in.
Yeah, screw that. So Thielbar, Taylor, and Tyler.
Yeah,
and then you can go along with Funderburk. You can go along with Cole Sands. Boom, done. We should just.
Well, and you still have Justin Topa, Funderburk.
Oh, Topa, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got it settled. We'll just be assistant GMs. Take over right now.
I like it. But yeah, either way, there's a ton of guys. You're not going to get like a hot, like top end, like closer because now Edwin Diaz and Helsley and Devin Williams are gone, but you were never really going to be in the running for them, most likely. But yeah, a ton of guys here available. It's just if the Twins are willing to spend, that's all it comes down to. And most of these are like, okay, so what did Devin Williams sign for? It was like 3 years, 33 million, so like 11 million per year, was it? What did Edwin sign? How much is he getting per year?
39, 13 a year.
3 years, $69 million deal for Edwin.
Or yeah.
So
wait, what?
$69 million
for 3 years.
For 3 years. So what is that?
Yeah, that's the Dodgers are gonna Dodger. That's stupid.
Yeah, I know. $23 million.
Wow. When I saw that, I guess
we are so bad at math.
Well, no, it's just
like it's just shocking, right?
Yeah. Was Class A before the whole Class A news happened? Did he get a big deal from Cleveland before? Like, I'm trying to think in 2025. What does a top closer make? I guess I didn't realize.
Well, okay, or the Orioles signed. No, okay. No, you are right. They don't make anywhere near 23 million. The Orioles just signed Ryan Helsley to a 13-year deal. Raisel Iglesias, he was a 1 year 16.
You mean 13 like per, right? Not 13.
Yeah, per year. Yeah.
But how many years did he sign?
2 years.
So 2 years. Okay, so what? He was 226.
Or sorry, 14 million a year for Helsley, but nowhere near like 23 or 24.
Yeah, wow, that's stupid.
No, it is, but like it's the Dodgers. We get that. But here, we're kind of pushing this a little bit long. I have another report that came out yesterday that I want to read. But real quick, can you look up on your phone, Trev, like how much?
I'll just go dark, but yeah.
No. Okay, never mind. I'll do it quick. I'm just looking up what Pete Alonso is projected to make because I actually want to see
how much did like Harper and.
So 25 to 30 million annual average is what he's projected.
Sorry, what was it?
25 to 30 million per year, obviously. So like a recent projection is like 177 million over 6 years for Alonso. And I did see the Mets have been in talks with him, but the Mets want him for like a 3-year deal and he's not willing to do that.
Long term.
Again, I'm not saying the Twins are going to sign Alonso. People are going to crush me in the comments for that. But like, if they are willing to spend on a big bat, you spend 20. Okay, realistically, you're probably going to spend 30 or 32 on Alonso. And then, like we said, Adolis Garcia is 12 million. That's like the top for his projections that he's had. So 44 million you spend there. And then if you sign 2 bullpen arms, a bullpen arm for like a depth, good, reliable guy would probably be like 7 to 8 million, right? Like 6 to 8 million probably. So if you spend 2 of those, you're still around like 50 million spent in free agency, which it's a lot cheaper than a lot of teams in the league spend every year. But that you get your first baseman. Honestly, the number one guy I want from here that's realistic, I think, is Adolis Garcia. I think that would be great. But if you could, you get Alonso and Adolis and 2 guys for just over like 50 million, which I think would just be fantastic.
Yeah.
If they're really serious about it, but it would take a lot of persuading to tell Pete Alonso, come swing bats in 40-degree weather at the beginning of the year and break your hands every time you hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yep.
Either way, this is I never saw this article, but Matthew Leach on the MLB app. The title is Falvey gets green light to build around top players. Like he gets the green light to go spend money, which we already kind of knew this based on the other report that I saw, but I've been trying to find like any quotes that he had. Like he said this to the general managers meetings in November. I was hoping to find a way to build around the core that we have. I think we have the ability now to try and navigate through that, and we'll figure out exactly what that looks like through the course of the off season. It's still unclear, obviously, the flexibility the Twins will have. Reports are suggesting that they could be up to 140 million for payroll going into the season, which right now the Twins are at 47. All the arbitration money that they're going to spend will bring it up to 89. So honestly, kind of what we were just saying there, that would be another 50 million going from 89 to 140 million for payroll going into the season. That would be basically what we just said. You sign Alonso, 2 bullpen guys for 7 million, and then Adolis Garcia for like a depth outfield. That would be amazing. So yeah, there's a lot of things right there. And now that we're actually past 4:30, I am turning on the like. Do you know the odds, right? Or do you know who got the first overall pick?
I haven't seen anything now if it's happened.
5 MLB draft lottery.
You saw it, or is it about to
No,
happen?
I am looking it up here.
Because do you know, was it on ESPN or is it like MLB Network?
It's MLB Network. Yeah.
Okay, so I can turn it on if I wanted to.
MLB Network's not on YouTube TV. I forgot. So
no, yeah. Well, yeah, you know, the whole streaming debacle thing. I mean, we just went through with the ESPN, but that's besides the point. I mean, if it just started though, I don't how soon. I was gonna say we could probably just do a short episode because I don't know how quickly they're gonna get to the Giants because they're probably gonna do their talk for 10 minutes, blah blah blah. This team disappointed. However, if we get the number 1 pick, then they're gonna win the World Series in 2035 because X, Y, and Z. Listen, that.
Yeah.
It's just gonna say I don't know how much you want to get on here, but if anything, we can do like a second part later tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we'll probably end up doing that. Dan Hayes just reported right now that he thinks the Twins are going to be around 115 going into next year. So like another 20 million added. So probably 2 arms or maybe Adolis Garcia and a bullpen arm. Either way, there's going to be conflicting reports from every reporter out there until the Twins actually make moves or say what they're going to be doing with money wise. But you know what? I like that, Trev. If you're good with it, we'll hop on later for a very short, brief thing, just going over. Maybe I could look up a few prospects going into the draft this upcoming year. But yeah, the draft lottery is starting here. And we will get an episode out later about that. But for right now, I think we're good. We covered a lot of stuff today. So Twin City Sports Talk over on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Go follow, subscribe, whatever you guys got to do there. A lot of Twins news in this whole week's or whatever that means for anyone. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. For Trevor Kramer, Bruce Kramer, Twin City Sports Talk. See ya.